Did you know that over 50% of Americans aged 45 through 60 don't have enough saved for a comfortable retirement? Does that unsettling statistic include you? Like Colonel Sanders, KFC's indomitable founder who endured countless defeats and only found real success after turning 60, you can ignite a fresh journey toward lasting wealth today. In this piece, I'll reveal the most common pitfalls, share insider investment strategies, and outline 5 guiding principles to set you on the path to genuine financial freedom. Principle 1. The crucial art of honing your high-income skill. In the whirlwind of our 20s, we're often consumed by the intoxicating quest of exploring the world and finding our true selves. But when you step into your 40s, life is no longer brimming with endless opportunities, nor do you have the luxury of time and boundless energy for trial and error anymore. Instead, you're confronted with stark, practical questions. Have I truly saved enough for the future? Am I genuinely on the right path to achieve financial freedom? Or even more unsettling, am I unknowingly squandering my hard-earned money? This is the gnawing anxiety of millions in their middle years. Hard-working, responsible individuals who still don't feel wealthy, who perhaps even feel like they're tragically falling behind. The heart of the matter is this: many of us have poured our entire lives into diligent work, yet we've never truly learned how to systematically build wealth. We were taught to save, to steer clear of debt, and to live modestly, and those are good lessons indeed. But in a world where technology relentlessly advances, inflation relentlessly climbs, and the costs of healthcare and education relentlessly skyrocket, mere saving is tragically no longer enough. Many in their middle years come to the stark realization that their current job, however stable, offers a limited income, incapable of creating a true financial breakthrough. More heartbreaking still, some skills they've relied on for 15-20 years are slowly, painfully becoming obsolete. Meanwhile, the modern job market cries out for new capabilities, more adaptable, more technologically adept, and capable of generating significantly higher income. You might feel a wave of confusion or a pang of anxiety, thinking, "I'm too old to learn something new," or "What's the point of learning more at this stage?" But this, my friend, is a tragically common misconception that holds so many back. Age isn't a barrier, it's a profound opportunity. In your 40s and 50s, you possess a wealth of life experience, discipline, unwavering focus, and a serious commitment to learning, qualities many younger individuals haven't yet cultivated. The issue isn't that you can't start anew, it's simply that you might not yet know where to begin. The solution, the beacon of hope, lies in one crucial action: honing high-value skills, the kind that can generate at least a few $1,000s each month, or even significantly more if pursued with dedication. You don't need to be a genius or go back for another degree. You simply need to choose the right skill and cultivate it strategically with heart and mind. In today's dynamic world, a wealth of skills are considered high-income generators. Think compelling marketing copywriting, captivating graphic design, meticulous project management, insightful personal financial planning, transformative online consulting, intricate web development, or mastering powerful digital advertising tools. You don't need to be a tech guru to acquire these empowering skills. Countless individuals are already seizing this opportunity, enrolling in reputable online training programs like Google Career Certificates, Coursera, or digital marketing courses on HubSpot to courageously pivot their careers or simply to boost their income after hours. What's truly vital is that you see this not just as any investment, but as the most precious investment of all, an investment in yourself. And like any wise, heartfelt investment, it needs time to blossom and yield its rewards. Imagine learning a new skill as sharpening an axe. If you aspire to fell a mighty tree, your axe must be impeccably sharp. Don't rush headlong into launching a startup or taking on another job if your tools aren't yet finely honed. That would be like trying to chop down a tree with a dull knife, a frustrating endeavor that will only leave you exhausted and disheartened. Beyond the financial rewards, acquiring new skills is about so much more than just making money. It's a journey that expands your network, opens doors to brighter opportunities, and powerfully boosts your confidence in this ever-evolving technological age. When you can offer genuine, heartfelt value to others through your knowledge, your solutions, or your specialized skills, money and grand opportunities will naturally, inevitably find their way to you. This, in its essence, is the mindset of the truly wealthy. They don't obsess over how to get rich quick, but rather they passionately focus on how to build the capacity to create immense, sustainable value. And here's another profound truth. Once you've mastered a high-value skill, even if you were to lose all your material possessions, you would still possess the incredible power to rebuild. Because you don't just have money, you possess the enduring ability to create it. This is the very core of a wealthy mindset, an unshakable confidence in your own capabilities, not a fragile dependence on fleeting circumstances. So, if you find yourself in your 40s or 50s feeling like you're lagging in the financial game, please don't burden yourself with blame. Instead, ask yourself with courage and honesty, what skills do I truly possess? Do these skills still hold real value in today's demanding market? And, most crucially, what new skill am I willing with all my heart to learn to transform my life? The answer to lasting wealth doesn't lie in a stroke of luck or your social standing. It rests powerfully and solely in the choices you bravely make today. You don't need to change the entire world. You only need to profoundly change the way you invest in yourself. When you do, financial freedom will cease to be a distant, elusive dream and will become a tangible, achievable goal truly within your grasp. Principle 2. Invest in assets, not liabilities. After diligently applying every saving method you know, have you ever felt that inexplicable sensation of money simply vanishing into thin air? Each month, your salary arrives, bills are dutifully paid, a few necessities are purchased, and then, in a bewildering moment, you glance at your bank account only to find it heartbreakingly depleted. This isn't a struggle unique to you. It's the stark, shared reality for millions in their middle years, even those earning a respectable income. The devastating reason is this: we're holding on to our money in ways that allow it to erode and wither instead of nurturing it to flourish and grow. So many people desperately believe that to become wealthy, they simply need to earn more money. But the profound truth is, the power to keep your money and make it tirelessly work for you is the truly decisive factor. Countless high earners still find themselves trapped in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, while some with modest incomes miraculously build substantial fortunes. The pivotal difference lies here. The wealthy don't just let their money sit idle in a wallet, they bravely invest it. The heartbreaking problem is that most of us were taught how to consume and how to save, but we were never truly enlightened on how to wield our money with strategic power. As a result, we tragically find ourselves ensnared in the relentless earn, spend, wait for payday vortex. Even worse, so many are seduced by the siren call of unnecessary expenditures, upgrading the car, chasing the latest phone, acquiring more fleeting decorations, all those things that offer a momentary illusion of well-being but contribute absolutely nothing to building lasting, genuine wealth. If this mindset isn't courageously shifted, then even if your income were to magically double, you could still find yourself trapped in a state of sustainable poverty, a truly chilling thought. This predicament becomes even more perilous as you step into that chapter of life where health may begin to wane, and the precious window of time for accumulation inexorably shrinks. The liberating solution lies in a foundational principle of modern financial wisdom. Invest your precious resources in true assets, not in mere material possessions that fade. Assets are the powerful engines that generate income, that appreciate in value over time, and that propel you ever closer to the dream of financial freedom. Conversely, material things might offer a fleeting illusion of wealth, but in reality, they mercilessly drain your resources. Those who cultivate a truly wealthy mindset passionately seek to own things that generate returns, not just things that glitter with superficial allure. One of the most accessible and profoundly effective ways to invest in assets today is through long-term commitment to the stock market, specifically through powerful index funds like the S&P 500 or low-cost ETFs. This is the very path many everyday, middle-class Americans have walked to miraculously accumulate hundreds of thousands of dollars for their retirement, some even achieving millionaire status without ever earning a colossal income. The secret weapon? The magic of compound interest. Compound interest is that wondrous phenomenon where you don't just earn interest on your initial principal, but you also, astoundingly, earn interest on the interest already accrued. Over time, this snowballing effect causes your wealth to grow exponentially, like a tiny seed blossoming into a mighty oak. Imagine this. If you were to faithfully invest just $300 each month into an index fund averaging a 10% annual return, after 30 years of dedication, you could be looking at a nest egg of over $600,000, and that's before even considering additional investments or salary increases. Such is the breathtaking power of starting early and maintaining unwavering consistency. However, for this incredible magic of compounding to truly work its wonders, there's one sacred rule you must honor. You must not touch that money. Your investment funds must be kept entirely separate from your everyday spending account, dedicated solely to those cherished long-term dreams like a comfortable retirement, owning your own home, or creating a blissful stream of passive income. You do not need to be a financial wizard to embark on this journey. Today, a wealth of supportive tools are at your fingertips, from incredibly intuitive automated investment apps to widely accessible mainstream investment platforms. Many of these empowering platforms allow you to effortlessly set up recurring monthly investments, perhaps $100, $200, or a fixed percentage of your income, and then let the system diligently do the heavy lifting for you. What matters most is your unwavering determination and steadfast consistency. Beyond the stock market, you might also explore other avenues for building assets, such as income-generating rental properties, real estate investment trusts, REITs, or even the timeless security of gold, especially if you desire to diversify your precious portfolio. Each path has its unique blessings and challenges, but their shared beautiful promise is the potential to preserve value and grow over time, a miracle that fleeting consumer goods can never perform. Think of your money as a valiant army ready for your command. If you let it lie dormant, it achieves nothing, tragically weakening with the passage of time. But if you strategically deploy it, investing it wisely, this army will tirelessly fight and diligently work for you, day and night, even while you peacefully sleep. This is the empowering secret to how so many have built lasting, sustainable wealth without sacrificing their entire lifetime to the daily grind. Investing isn't some exclusive game reserved only for the young and restless. In truth, those in their middle years possess tremendous advantages: a more steadfast mindset, a rich tapestry of life experience, and a far greater capacity for emotional mastery over their finances. All that's truly needed is your courageous decision to begin, and believe me, the sooner, the undeniably better. If you are genuinely deeply serious about achieving the liberating dream of financial freedom, there is no path more powerful, no strategy more effective than transforming your money into true, hard-working assets. Don't let it languish, lifeless, and unproductive in a mere savings account. And please, don't squander it on those fleeting trinkets that might make you appear rich today, only to leave you poorer and perhaps heartbroken tomorrow. Principle 3. Dare to embrace risk. There's a formidable barrier holding so many back from achieving lasting, sustainable wealth, and it's not a lack of money, nor is it a scarcity of opportunities. The true culprit, the silent dream killer, is fear. Not the fear of failure as many mistakenly believe, but a deeper, more insidious fear, the fear of judgment. The chilling dread of disapproving glances when an idea doesn't win the crowd's immediate embrace. This crippling fear chains many to the shores of their comfort zone, clinging to familiar jobs and monotonous routines, even when a voice deep within whispers that they are destined for so much more. Especially in the middle years, those pivotal decades from 40 to 55, this fear can cast an even longer, more haunting shadow. For this is often the season of life laden with cherished family responsibilities, the weight of a mortgage, the dreams pinned on children's education. All these precious anchors can lead to the paralyzing thought, now is simply not the time to risk it all. So they choose the deceptive solace of postponement, and the years, oh, how they heartlessly slip away. But procrastination itself is a profound risk, the devastating risk of forfeiting the chance to transform your financial destiny, the agonizing risk of a future filled with regret, haunted by the whisper, if only I had started sooner. The stark truth is this: stability is not synonymous with safety, and avoiding risk entirely is an illusion, an impossibility on any genuine journey toward financial well-being. If you merely follow the well-trodden path of the crowd, go to work, collect a paycheck, spend predictably, you will inevitably arrive at their destination. A life of adequacy perhaps, but forever shadowed by the unfulfilled dream of the life you truly yearn for. But if your soul cries out for a breakthrough, if you aspire to the sunlit uplands of financial freedom, then you must summon the courage to tread a different, less traveled road. And let me be clear, this doesn't mean recklessly gambling everything away. The golden key, the path to empowered progress, lies in embracing calculated risk. Calculated risk involves steps taken with meticulous preparation, diligent research, fortified by contingency plans, and defined by crystal-clear loss limits. This isn't about blindly going all in on a stock fueled by whispers and rumors, nor is it about impulsively quitting your job to chase a fleeting entrepreneurial whim. Instead, it's about the dedicated wisdom of investing time to truly understand the market, courageously starting a small side hustle alongside your main employment, bravely testing the waters with modest yet steady investments, or diligently acquiring a new skill to pave a smoother, more secure path for a future career transition. Consider this inspiring reality. Countless individuals in America aged 45 through 55 are boldly venturing into dynamic fields like online sales, real estate investment, or offering their invaluable professional consulting services. They don't necessarily abandon their primary careers overnight. Rather, they courageously dedicate their evenings, their precious weekends, or a portion of their hard-earned income to build these vital supplementary streams of revenue. These forward-thinking souls aren't just earning extra money. They are painstakingly laying the very foundation for their future financial liberation, because they deeply understand that relying solely on a pension or Social Security will not be enough for a life of genuine comfort and dignity later on. Risk, dear friend, is an unavoidable companion on life's journey, but it can absolutely be managed with wisdom and foresight. Consider this simple yet profound truth. If you never dare to invest, you will forever be denied the magnificent rewards of compound interest. If you never summon the courage to test your entrepreneurial spark, you will live forever in the shadows of what if, never knowing if it could have illuminated a path to greater income than your current job. If you don't dare to embrace change, how can your heart truly expect a different, more fulfilling life to unfold? Even more critically, as the years gracefully advance, our capacity to absorb time-related risks naturally diminishes. A 25-year-old can stumble, fall, and courageously rise again multiple times over the next decade, learning precious lessons along the way. But for someone at 50, each step forward carries more weight, demanding greater certainty. which is precisely why embracing calculated risk rather than shrinking from it becomes not just important but absolutely essential. And here's the wonderfully empowering news. You are perfectly equipped to do this with the profound wisdom and seasoned perspective of maturity, a priceless treasure that youth has not yet acquired. You don't need to morph into a high-flying entrepreneurial icon. You don't need to recklessly risk everything you hold dear. All that's asked is that you begin to think with a refreshed perspective, bravely embrace small, intentional shifts in your habits, and gently accustom yourself to making proactive financial decisions rather than merely reacting to circumstances. Imagine, for instance, courageously dedicating 5% of your income to investments each month, passionately committing to learning a new digital skill over 3 transformative months, or simply carving out 1 precious hour each day to explore an exciting new field. These seemingly small yet consistently repeated actions possess the incredible power to completely reshape your financial destiny. There is no genuinely rewarding path to lasting, sustainable wealth that doesn't wind through the valleys of difficult, soul-searching choices. But here lies the beautiful, comforting truth. Every single time you dare to try, every time you bravely inch forward, even if you stumble and fall, you are drawing undeniably closer to your triumph. Because a failure embraced within a framework of calculated risk is never a full stop, it is instead a precious, illuminating lesson that empowers you to soar even higher next time. And if, even now, a whisper of hesitation lingers in your heart, should I truly begin? The answer, resounding and unequivocal, is yes. Not because riches will magically appear overnight, but because your spirit, your effort, your very being deserves a brighter, more secure financial life. Risk and failure are not the terrifying monsters they are often painted to be. What is far more chilling, far more heartbreaking, is the soul-crushing weight of "if only" discovered when the precious chance to begin anew has tragically passed you by. Principle 4. Commit to lifelong learning. When was the last time you truly immersed yourself in learning something entirely new? Not because your job harshly demanded it, but because a spark of curiosity ignited within you. A deep desire to understand a fresh field, a novel skill, or a concept that held the promise of transforming your personal finances. So many individuals past the age of 40 find themselves hesitating, perhaps even faltering at this very question. And in that hesitation lies a heartbreaking reason why their journey toward true wealth grinds to a halt. We were indoctrinated with the belief learning is the sacred duty of the young. That we would dutifully complete high school, passionately choose a college major, and then serenely live out the rest of our days, coasting on the knowledge accumulated in our youth. But the stark, unyielding truth is this: the world transforms with every fleeting second, and it waits for no one, not a single soul. Each day, a dizzying array of new technologies bursts forth. Financial markets churn in a relentless dance of volatility. Investment trends shift with breathtaking speed. And if you fail to keep pace, you will be tragically, irrevocably left behind. This isn't a truth reserved solely for the vibrant and youthful. It resonates with even greater urgency for those who have journeyed halfway through life's grand tapestry, yet still harbor the burning desire to build lasting, meaningful wealth. In your middle years, you might find solace in a stable job, comfort in a decent income, perhaps even the pride of home ownership or a few tentative investments. But let this sink deep into your heart. Stability, however comforting, is not and never will be enough. If you cease to learn, if you fail to continuously refine your financial acumen, the assets you cherish today can all too easily vanish into the mists of tomorrow. To stop learning is to deliberately slam shut the golden doors to fresh opportunities. The chance to invest wisely, to save with greater insight, or to cultivate exciting new streams of income. Consider a tragically common scenario. Millions in America passively leave their entire life savings languishing in bank accounts where the interest earned is cruelly outpaced by the relentless march of inflation. Meanwhile, with just a foundational understanding and courageous application of basic concepts like index funds or ETFs, they could have empowered their money to multiply manifold over the long term, securing a far brighter future. But this beautiful alchemy of growth can never occur if the mind remains closed, if the spirit refuses the noble pursuit of learning. The wonderfully uplifting news is that learning today has shattered the confines of traditional classrooms. You don't need to re-enroll in formal schooling, nor do you require a string of degrees or intimidating certificates to grasp the empowering principles of personal finance, the profound wisdom of investment thinking, or the inspiring pathways to building wealth. All that is truly asked of you is an open, eager spirit and the courageous spark of initiative. A universe of knowledge awaits, millions of enlightening free podcasts, high-caliber YouTube channels, transformative online courses from esteemed platforms like Coursera, Khan Academy, Udemy, all designed to gently guide you step by empowering step toward greater understanding. Timeless books like The Millionaire Next Door, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and The Psychology of Money also offer a magnificent launchpad for anyone yearning to elevate their financial consciousness. But most crucially, more than anything else, you must learn the right things, the things that truly matter. Don't learn merely for the sterile accumulation of facts to simply know more. Learn with a burning purpose to make wiser, more empowered decisions that shape your destiny. Learn the art of mastering debt, transforming it from a burden into a tool. Learn the critical skill of discerningly evaluating an investment's true potential. Learn the vital strategies to shield your precious assets from the turbulent storms of market volatility. And above all, immerse yourself in learning to think like the truly wealthy. To deeply understand that money is but a powerful instrument, a means to a grander end, never the ultimate goal itself. One of the most tragic and self-limiting fallacies of adulthood is the dangerously complacent thought, "I already know enough." But in the vibrant tapestry of reality, no one has ever achieved lasting, sustainable wealth without an unyielding commitment to continuous, passionate learning. Even the world's most accomplished billionaires dedicate precious hours each day to reading, to researching, to absorbing new information with fervent intensity. This isn't because they suffer from a lack of knowledge. Rather, it's because they possess the profound understanding that enduring wealth demands a mind as agile and constantly software updated as a cutting-edge computer. Without this vital renewal, outdated knowledge will inevitably lead to devastatingly flawed decisions in our relentlessly evolving world. This unwavering commitment to lifelong learning also serves as a powerful shield against tumbling into the perilous peak of illusion, that treacherous place where you mistakenly believe you know it all, while reality paints a starkly different, more humbling picture. This curious phenomenon is known as the Dunning-Kruger effect, where a lack of true understanding breeds an utterly unfounded and often dangerous overconfidence. In the high-stakes arena of investment and finance, such blind confidence can be utterly ruinous, leading to the heartbreaking loss of everything due to a single misguided decision. But if you cultivate the sacred habit of lifelong learning, you not only sidestep these devastating pitfalls, but also unlock the extraordinary ability to perceive golden opportunities long before they become apparent to the wider world. Picture this. Numerous middle-aged investors have brilliantly capitalized on emerging technological waves, like the revolutions in AI, blockchain, or renewable energy, simply because they dedicated precious time each week to diligently following economic news and market currents. They weren't necessarily born experts. They simply possessed the wisdom of consistent, passionate engagement with the ever-unfolding story of our world. You don't need to absorb every piece of information under the sun. That would be an impossible, overwhelming quest. But you absolutely must learn enough to intimately understand what you are doing with your precious, hard-earned money. Engrave this on your heart. You cannot truly control what you do not profoundly comprehend. And in a world where your personal finances directly and powerfully dictate the very quality of your life, a lack of understanding is tantamount to surrendering the reins of your financial destiny to others, to banks, to brokers, to the volatile whims of the market, or even more tragically, to the fickle hands of sheer chance. Therefore, if you find yourself in your 40s or 50s haunted by the debilitating thought that it's too late to embark on a new learning journey, I implore you, cast that disempowering notion aside right now. Learning is no longer the exclusive privilege of the young. It has shed that outdated skin. Learning is the non-negotiable, indispensable prerequisite for anyone who passionately desires to protect their assets, to cultivate greater income, and to draw ever closer to the radiant shores of financial freedom. Learning is the profound, deliberate act of someone who truly, deeply comprehends the immense value of money and the even more precious, irretrievable value of time. Begin with beautiful simplicity. Commit to reading just one illuminating financial book this month. Tune in to an inspiring podcast each morning, letting wisdom gently fill your dawn. Courageously ask questions whenever you encounter someone whose understanding of investment surpasses your own. Embrace their knowledge as a precious gift. And most profoundly of all, approach your learning with a heart full of humility, ceaselessly striving to elevate and refine yourself, for this and only this is the most steadfast, enduring path to true wealth, a path open to you at any and every age. Principle 5. Build a powerful network. There's a famous saying, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." It resonates even more in midlife. At 40 or 50, the relationships you nurture can be the difference between stagnant finances and lasting financial freedom. Yet far too many of us remain tethered to connections that drain rather than uplift us. Old friends who moan about life, colleagues who complain endlessly, relatives who urge us to be content. Well-intentioned or not, they plant seeds of doubt, making us second-guess investments and shrink from new opportunities. Imagine you're ready to make a small stock or real estate play, and every voice around you warns of doom, though they've never tried it themselves. Their fear becomes yours, and slowly you drift further from the wealth you dream of. But here's the power of community. A 2024 study by the U.S. National Economic Research Institute found that for every 10% increase in friends with a wealth-building mindset, a person's chances of investing in the stock market rose by 3%, and their odds of saving effectively climbed by 5%. We mirror those we surround ourselves with. To grow rich, you must immerse yourself among those who share your financial goals and drive toward freedom. That doesn't mean abandoning old friends. It means being mindful of who lifts you up and who holds you back. Time in midlife is too precious for conversations that don't fuel your ambitions. So how do you cultivate a high-value network? Start by seeking out like-minded peers. Local investment clubs, monthly entrepreneur meetups, personal finance groups, or online communities on Facebook and LinkedIn. These are places where people swap real-world success stories and hard-won lessons, where inspiration meets action. Shift your social calendar. Trade casual lunches about what we spent for coffee chats on market trends, side hustle wins, or smart budgeting hacks. The more you engage with achievers, the more naturally your thinking will shift toward opportunity and abundance. Remember to approach every connection with respect, curiosity, and generosity. Wealth-minded people love sharing knowledge when they see genuine eagerness. You don't need a Wall Street title. just a hunger to learn and a willingness to offer your own insights in return. Ask thoughtful questions, listen deeply, and view every interaction as a chance to grow. Ultimately, a quality network isn't just a tool for amassing money. It's the foundation for a richer, more meaningful life. Surrounded by positive, proactive peers, you'll greet financial decisions with confidence, not fear. You'll stand taller, dream bigger, and move steadily toward your true goal, living life on your own terms, not merely reacting to circumstance. You may not be the first millionaire in your family, but by choosing the right community, you can be the first to transform your financial future and inspire everyone around you to do the same. Thank you for investing your precious time in this material. I hope these financial principles and wealth-building mindsets will empower you to create lasting prosperity and move closer to true financial freedom in midlife. What do you think of these principles? Share your thoughts or any questions in the comments below so we can build a strong personal finance community together. I look forward to seeing you in upcoming content. Wishing you success and happiness always.